I talked with you as well in my annual address about the Livingston Campus and a vision for that as the site of professional education in New Brunswick, Piscataway, business, management and labor relations, social work, and education. The vision hasn't changed, but a lot of planning is under our belt since September, and I'll have more to tell you concretely about that in the semester ahead. But I wanted to remind you that at last Rutgers intends on capitalizing upon the good transportation access and the availability of land at Livingston, and that in addition to continuing to be the place where a lot of our undergraduates live and study in the years ahead, I hope it will also migrate to the professional campus of our university. Professional schools that share a lot, focus on master's level education, continuing education, executive education, and it could benefit by shared access to such facilities as a hotel and conference center, appropriate residence halls, appropriate commercial services. All of the latter, of course, would have to be developed in public-private partnership, not by Rutgers alone.
You briefly mentioned some of the exciting things that are going on at the Livingston campus, and one interesting thing that has sparked my interest over the past few weeks is the ecological preserve that's on the Livingston campus. And I was curious to know if you've had any plans to kind of enhance and make that the ecological preserve maybe a little more enticing for students and maybe a little more user-friendly.
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. The ecological preserve is the treed area between River Road and the Livingston campus. You probably all know approximately where it is. There are no plans, and there are not going to be any plans for the development of the ecological preserve. That is to say, none of the buildings envisioned in the development of Livingston as a professional campus or anything else would be on the ecological preserve. But I share Margaret's understanding that this is a highly underutilized area. And while I respect that there are some members of our community who would leave it absolutely untouched, and maybe that's the right outcome, I myself would like to see it a bit more actively used. At the very least, cleaned up, running trails, walking trails, something that would make it a recreational area. We're not talking about tennis courts and basketball courts, but something that would make it a usable recreational area and a vital asset to the Rutgers community instead of what it currently is. There's some impressions that this is like some sort of old-growth forest. Come on, it was farmland until the 1930s. Every tree that's there has grown up, not exactly within our lifetime, but not a whole lot longer. I spent some time in the Northwest before coming back to Rutgers, and I know a little about old-growth forests, and that ain't one. So that doesn't mean we should be callous about protecting the environment. On the contrary, we should. But I think that somewhat more active use of the ecological preserve would well serve the Rutgers community and the larger community.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking that question.